I was born and raised in Morocco, and then I moved to France for the university. And when I graduated, it was a tough time to find a job. And this is where I started to try to learn how to make choices. I graduated. Then, as I didn't find a job, I just said, okay, I will do an extra year and go for a funded PhD. That was an option to get it, like similar like a job, just gets an income. But as I went through, after that year, I just find myself not really liking research. I know some of you here maybe like research. And I was thinking why I would do another 3 years to be a researcher, to do an engineer job. So luckily, I did my internship with the GE, which was based in that city. And at least I had that clear in my mind. I'm an engineer. I'm not doing, even though my internship topic was research, I was doing emission modeling in combustion. I'm not totally mechanical engineer. Maybe I cheated. So I'm a bit of a mix. I'm an energy engineer. I do mechanical, electrical, chemistry. And that's what I did when I was asked to develop this model for the combustion of the gas turbines. And I really enjoy it. But I enjoy it because it was really applicable to, like, I could see how we apply it in the industry directly, not fundamental research. I respect those who are doing fundamental because they have to keep motivation while sometimes the result takes time. Me, I think I understood that I need to see results. That's a big motivation for me. And this is something I tell a lot of people that work in my office, the early career engineers. And that was actually the name of the session, Find Your Way. I always tell them, find your way. My career is my career. I made my choices, and it's built on my motivation. You know, when you're at work, you need to make sure that even after a tough day, you will come back the next day with a smile and with more energy to fight. So after that, I took few jobs in France. I took few jobs in engineering. As I said, developing this model, then I become like the guru for emissions, anything around emissions. And I also joined the team who is doing what we call new product introduction testing for the equipment. So it's in ground. It has helped me really expand my knowledge outside just of the combustion. I've become knowledgeable about the whole gas turbine. I did a lot of tests around the world, different culture, US, Asia, Middle East. So that was very interesting. And then I took a job as an application engineer. So building proposals for our technology, for our customers. And the interesting thing is that when you submit your bid, you're invited to discuss the proposal, understand the deviation that you put there. And this is where I discovered something new about myself. One day after a meeting with a US company, Dow Chemical, I remember it was in the Netherlands, and the sales guy, I was the engineer. Sales guy came out and said, Otmane, you have a sales chip. So I understood why I appreciate to be in front of customers, because simply that's something that really fuel me. I need that energy. For me, it's important because remember what I said, seeing the impact you are making. When you are an engineer on back office, sometimes you don't realize the impact of what you're doing because it's so remote, especially in industry. But being at the front, I really see that impact. If I manage to convince the customer about solution, you see that impact immediately. So that was interesting. From there, I moved to commercial operation. I become proposal leader, being responsible for a lot of people that don't report to you, and you want them to work on your proposal to make the best proposal for the customer and covering all the equipment of a power plant, the gas turbine generator, the boiler, the steam turbine. So I also increased my knowledge. So while doing what I like to do. And I did that like 2 years. And then somebody came to me and said, we want you to become a sales. So a lot of people look at me and said, wow, you're lucky. Like sales are people that were being looked at like, they are the guy that bring the deals. I had a tough week to think about. But at the end, my decision was, no, I'm not taking that role. Because simply, I like technology. And of course, I can do maybe good as a sales, but I will lose that contact with the technology. I may talk about, but I will not do it, technology every day. So it was a tough decision, but still I did it. I went and I declined that role and then continued for like few years as commercial operation until I moved here in 2013, where I became the leader of the team supporting sales. So I'm close to sales, but I'm not sales. Even though a lot of people after meeting, they come to me, they say, you're the sales? No, I'm not. I like it, but I like to do technology. I'm passionate about technology. I'm passionate about our technology, the gas turbines. I don't know if you're familiar with gas turbines, but it's a mechanical technology, very impressive, rotating at the frequency of the grid and fired beyond the metal fusion temperature and still rotating. So that's pretty interesting. And here I've been leading different teams, sales support for the region MENA and Africa, MENA and South Asia, until recently where I became Chief Technology Officer, where I cover both sides, new units and services side. And very interesting dynamics between the two. And the pacing is not the same. When you are on one side, the new units, you have to be more strategic. It takes few years to materialize the project. The cycle is quite long. On the services side, you're a firefighter. Every day when the customer called and said, I have an issue, you have to jump in and solve the problem. Our technology needs to be reliable, available, because it's about power. In 50 degrees C, if you lose the power, I think I know in Sharjah it happened a few years ago. It was quite dramatic. So that's the difference between two. I think I have 10 minutes, right? So I don't know where I stand, but just a few things that I tell those early career engineers that come to my office. I think genuinely, maybe I'm not objective, but I think we're lucky to be engineers. I've seen in my career, engineering open doors to many things. I've seen engineers that are becoming experts in their field, engineers becoming leaders. I'm leading the team, I'm representing in this region. But I've seen also one of the projects that we have here in Sharjah with the latest technology, it's called in Hamriya. I worked with somebody from finance we developed that project together. And I learned that he was an engineer. He's not a finance person. I've seen HR that have been engineers before becoming HR. So I think you're lucky to be engineers. I don't think you've seen ever somebody who's doing finance to become an engineer unless he goes back to school, right? But moving in your job from engineering, from finance to engineering, that's not possible. So you are really lucky. But please just sit down. When people ask me to give them advice, my only advice is the method, is not the solution, not what they should be doing. My advice is really understand what motivates you. That's number one. And understand what you want to do, which side you want to go. In our company, we have the option to become controller title holder, which is expertise. We have the opportunity to become project manager. We have the opportunity to become application. So I just tell them, think about what you want to do, and because you need that, as I said in the beginning to close this, is you need to make sure that you keep having that energy that makes you get back the next day to fight again and again while being happy.